All right, this is from Fox News, Hannity, and this is why Mueller's team is in serious trouble. Listen up.
To appoint a team of nonpartisan investigators that didn't have any conflicts of interest. Sadly, the exact opposite happened. His first lead investigator, the now fired Peter Strzok, the same guy that said that Hillary Clinton should win this election 100 million to 0. By the way, the same guy that said, all sorts of things about Donald Trump and talked about an insurance policy just in case he did win. Now, his lead prosecutor, meaning Mueller's Andrew Weissman, the guy the New York Times calls Mueller's pit bull, actually attended Hillary Clinton's election night party. Well, he's objective. Weissman also praised acting Attorney General Sally Yates when she refused to follow orders from her boss, the President of the United States. Mueller also appointed a woman. Her name is Jeannie Ray. She previously served as an attorney for Hillary Clinton. That's right, at the Clinton Foundation. Now, this looks really, really bad, and it's only the tip of the iceberg, because Mueller literally filled his team of so-called objective investigators with major Democratic donors, no Republicans, people who donated tens of thousands of dollars to the Clintons, the Obamas, and others. 14 of the 17 special counsel prosecutors registered Democrats, 0 Republicans. And at this point, Robert Mueller might as well have hired Maxine Waters and Elizabeth Warren. He's not even trying to appear fair. And it's no wonder that from the very beginning, this investigation centered around one man only, and that's your president, Donald Trump. It's the opposite of how our justice system is supposed to work, which brings us to part 2 of our witch hunt analysis. Remember in the old Soviet Union, they investigated people and then they found crimes. In America, we're supposed to investigate crimes and find the perpetrators. And sadly, here we are investigating a man, not a crime. Look at Michael Flynn. Look at Papadopoulos. Look at Manafort, Stone, Jerome Corsi. They share only one thing in common: connections to Donald Trump. Flynn, Papadopoulos pled guilty to process crimes caused by the investigation itself. And in the case of Flynn, the FBI didn't even think he was lying, but he ran out of money, had to sell his house, and I'm pretty certain that his son was threatened to be investigated if he didn't sign the papers. And for example, Manafort's crimes, nothing to do with Russia, nothing to do with collusion. You have issues that were previously resolved that date back to 2007, loan applications and taxes. And no matter what Mueller throws at these men, it doesn't matter, hours of interrogations, threats, life in prison, well, he's always offering the get-out-of-jail-free card if they say what Mueller and his team want them to say. By the way, with no evidence whatsoever needed of any Trump-Russia collusion. Nothing has been uncovered, 0. Even CNN's fake news, fake Jake Tapper admitted there's literally no crime here. You know why? Because there isn't. No conspiracy, no collusion, no crime. What we have, though, is a political persecution. By the way, this started way before Mueller. Now, breaking tonight, The Hill's John Solomon is reporting during the presidential election, Donald Trump's allies were constantly targeted by our own intelligence apparatus. At least 6 people he's reporting tonight with long-established ties to the FBI or U.S. Western intelligence agencies made entrees to key figures in the Trump business organization or his presidential campaign. This all happening between March and October of 2016 in the lead up to the election. And Solomon continues. Nearly all of the contacts involve the same overture, a discussion about possible dirt, stolen emails, harmful to Hillary Clinton, or unsolicited business in London or Moscow. And get this, according to the report, these contacts were likely efforts by Obama's DOJ. Why? To bolster claims made in Hillary Clinton's bought and paid for phony lies dossier, the lying dossier put together by Chris.
All right, so Obama is fully involved in this as well as the Clintons. It's as treasonous as you can get, really.
Christopher Steele. He doesn't even stand by his own dossier. He can't corroborate anything in it or verify anything in it. This is huge news because they're plotting, planning, and scheming. And it brings us to the third issue in our analysis, the disgusting, despicable two-tiered system of justice. That shouldn't be in the United States of America, because in 2016, the Clinton campaign, they funneled millions and millions of dollars through a law firm, Perkins Coie, in order to hire an op research firm, in order to hire an ex-foreign spy that had deep Russia connections to dig up dirt on Donald Trump. That spy, Christopher Steele, puts together wholly uncorroborated, unverified dossier full of Russian lies, probably straight from the Kremlin. And instead of investigating the obvious collusion, Obama's DOJ, Comey's FBI, they used that dirty campaign op research. They never verified, they never corroborated, as the very basis to open investigation into Donald Trump. And by the way, get deep into the Trump campaign by committing fraud multiple times on the FISA court to get warrants against the Trump campaign associate. That's Carter Page. They used it in a coordinated leak strategy, and they actually talk about it. Why would they have a leak strategy? To manipulate the American voters. And today, it's the foundation of what is Robert Mueller's witch hunt. This gross, despicable, double standard, it doesn't end there. Remember Uranium One. Let's talk about this. Do we really care about Russian interference in America? Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, one of 9 people, including Eric Holder, signing off on sending 20% of our uranium, which is the foundational material for nuclear weapons, to the hostile regime of Russia, the hostile actor Vladimir Putin. In 2015, the New York Times reported, quote, shortly after the Russians announced their intention to acquire a majority stake in Uranium One, well, former President Bill Clinton received $500,000 in Moscow for a speech from a Russian investment bank. Yep, the same bank with links to the Kremlin that was promoting Uranium One stock. And it gets even more sketchy. During the transfer of Uranium One to Russia, the Clinton Foundation, they received millions and millions of dollars from the very people involved in the deal. And by the way, in the lead up to this, the FBI director at the time was Robert Mueller. Well, we had an FBI informant inside of Putin's network right here in America. And he was telling the FBI about what he was witnessing. Serious, serious issues. Here's what he told me when I had an opportunity to talk to this informant. And at some point, you became aware that Russia wanted to get a foothold in the uranium industry and that they were going to look at this conglomeration known, what we now know as Uranium One, and that deal was going to give them that foothold if, in fact, it was approved by 9 government agencies.
Yes, sir. There was no question about it.
Yeah. And the FBI knew that?
The Bureau knew it. The Uranium One position was a part of a long-term strategy, a 4-tier strategy by the Russians.
Were they telling you that they had confidence that Clinton would sign off on this deal?
Absolute confidence.
Did they have confidence that Obama would sign off on this deal?
They were quite sure that Obama and the administration, who they had deemed and labeled as being very weak multiple times, would respond favorably.
Okay, there we are. Treasonous acts, if there is one. Treasonous in all these areas. Mueller, his team, the Clintons, Obama, all involved in high treason. This is going to come out. It is coming out, and it's going to be tried. Military-wise, probably. Time will tell. But Clinton is not going to be up for election in 2020. Her days are going to be over here in another year or two, I'll bet you. And this is Roger Martin for Billings, Montana. Good day.